Hello, world.
We are live. Welcome to episode 6 of Still Entitled Game Talk Show with Paul and Ben.
It's a thing.
Today's topics include Pokemon Go and lesser games.
The one game to rule them and in the darkness bind them.
So, Pokemon Go has been released. It is the top of both app stores. It was top grossing on Apple. It's not quite top grossing on Android last time I checked, but reports say it's already made $14 million despite only being released in New Zealand, Australia, and the US.
Didn't it release
Although,
Saturday? Friday, maybe?
it's been less than a week. I think it was Friday.
Yeah. Maybe Friday in New Zealand or something.
Yeah. Yeah, released in Australia and New Zealand. Everyone was like, when is it coming to the US? When is it coming to the US? And within 24 hours, it was out in the US officially.
Yep, I
think
thought
it-
it'd be a little bit longer than that, but apparently not.
I think it's kind of weird. It's like a soft launch that they were like, okay, America, you can have it too. Stop complaining.
That's what I was thinking as well. But I don't know if it launched in the UK because I saw on Facebook like people in the UK waiting to catch their Pokemon or something.
No,
I don't
think
actually know.
Yeah, it's not released anywhere outside of those three markets, although the APK is all over the internet. So if you have an Android phone, you can illegally download it and play it anyway.
Oh, okay. Well, great. I have yet to download it. Have you downloaded it, Paul?
Yes. So my office
Is
has
it a
been-
Pokestop?
Yes, actually, it is. There's an eagle statue on top of our building that is considered.
A point of interest?
Yes, yeah. So it's a Pokestop. My office is crazy about it to the point of shaming me for only being level 7. Like, honestly, the girl who sits next to me in my office, I came in on Monday and she said, okay, what's your level now? And I said, oh, I'm still 6. And she honestly, like she was so offended, she like was treading lightly. She didn't just say like only level 6. She was like, oh, level 6, as if like she felt bad. Like I had
Like
some
you're a lesser human.
disability. Yeah.
When did you download it? I don't know. How long does it take to get to level 6?
So level 6, I mean, it means I've spent some time with it, but not a ton.
Okay.
I downloaded it the day it went live in the US. This is actually a good story. Let me tell
Okay.
this story.
Please do.
So, I had to buy new business casual clothes for my business casual job.
Okay.
And so we went out to this outlet mall to buy business casual clothes. But at this outlet mall, there was a Vans outlet. And I was like, oh man, I want to check out those Nintendo Vans. Have you seen the Nintendo Vans?
I can't say that I have.
So Nintendo and Vans partnered for officially licensed Nintendo designs on Vans shoes.
Okay.
They're all like NES era designs. So
Okay.
original Mario, original Zelda, Duck Hunt, just the NES controller, these kind of elements slapped onto Vans shoes. And
Okay.
we went to the Vans store and I looked at them and I just stared at them and like I realized I absolutely cannot buy these shoes and wear them. I just and in that moment, more than any other, I think in my entire life, I realized my childhood is dead. Like, I cannot wear Nintendo shoes. I just can't do it. I'm somebody's
Can't bring yourself
father.
to do it.
And then so like we leave the Vans store, and
I'm sure Maddie was proud.
yeah, and Maddie had to change Eli's diaper, so she goes into the bathroom to do that, and I wait outside, and I'm just sitting on this couch in this lobby of this outlet mall and thinking, wow, like I really have to grow up now This is so weird.
You had a moment this week, Paul.
Yeah, but then I'm not exaggerating. While I'm sitting on this couch, this girl from work texts me and says, "Pokemon Go is released. Download it." And so right then and there, I opened my phone and download Pokemon. And by the time we walked back to the car, I had created my character and I was catching my first Pokemon, and I was like, "Well, lesson unlearned."
You were right back in it. That's beautiful, Paul. That's beautiful. Okay.
So that's my Pokemon Go story.
I couldn't bring myself to download it because I thought to myself, I love Pokemon. I just don't want to walk around trying to catch them. I don't want to go out of my way. I'm being lazy adult about it, even though it's like our generation. You've seen all the Facebook memes, maybe. It's like how to kidnap a 28-year-old young man, and it shows this van and a guy that had spray painted rare Pokemon inside. Right? And I'm like, they are hitting the nostalgia factor hard, because I read a report that in the next couple days, if not like already, on the Android market, users of Pokemon Go will have eclipsed Twitter.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Which I was like, oh my gosh, what? Do you realize how many people that is?
Yeah.
And so I've seen teenagers and I've seen adults play it. I haven't necessarily seen any kids be playing it. Then again, kids don't necessarily have smartphones. So teenagers, right?
But teenagers young enough that they didn't grow up watching the anime.
Gen 1. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, see, so what I've noticed, to its credit, is there are people I know who don't care about Pokemon and never have, who have downloaded Pokemon Go and are learning Pokemon for the very first time through this app.
Really?
Yeah, like there's another girl in my office who sent out a chat on our like team chat channel.
In our office chat.
Yeah, she was like, "Oh, so cute. I caught a cat one." She caught a meow. And I was like, that is so weird that you care enough.
You don't know. Yeah.
You care enough to like think that's cute or whatever and be excited about it. But it's like organic. Like you've never seen a Meowth before in your life.
Huh. Yep, everyone I've talked to already knows the Pokemon. So that's great. I'm glad they're getting new people. The problem with Pokemon Go is that they need to have PvP of some kind, because like I want like the anime style, like you're walking across the street, both your phones buzz, and you get like the and just like battle them right there. But I don't know if that's in the pipeline. Obviously, trading's in the pipeline, but the gameplay mechanics of Pokemon Go, Paul, don't lie to yourself. They're not that great.
I'm not super sold on it. I'm only level 6 here.
Yeah.
I'm
oh my gosh, Paul.
On the effects it has had. I mean, we could talk some other like official stats. I mean, there's all these weird stories already in the news of armed robbers using Pokemon Go to know where people will be.
Yep, I read about the one with the dead bodies.
Yeah, a girl in Wyoming found a dead body because she was walking around along a river looking for water Pokemon.
Yep. Which, can you imagine? Can you imagine? Oh my gosh.
What is the other one? Oh, there was like some delivery company sent out like an official memo to all drivers saying, someone posted a picture of it on Reddit. It was like, kids playing new mobile game, not paying attention, be extra cautious.
There's a lot of police as well that are being like, people, wake up. Like, don't like come into the police station, just stand outside.
Yeah. There's actually, so there was that Australian police station saying like, you don't have to come inside to collect the Pokestop. Please don't.
Yeah.
There's actually KSL 5, the news channel here in Utah, said, yes, our studio is a Pokestop, but if you come in, security will politely ask you to leave.
So I wonder, like, if it's gonna get any worse, because it's obviously gonna get better. It's gonna be fine. Like after a few weeks, not nearly as many people will be playing it, but
no.
I wonder, like,
That's the thing. I mean, Nintendo's stock went up by like 22% or
I
something,
know I
added
should have bought some before.
17.5.
I knew it was going to be huge. I should have bought some.
Yeah, it added 17.5 billion total value to Nintendo's company, right?
Oh my
Like
gosh.
overnight almost, within a week anyway. Uh, but one article I read had the very valid point of like, can this stay? Like, can this keep up this
No,
pace?
no, it's
And
impossible.
I don't think so. Like, it requires so much time and
Yeah,
like
that was the
actual
thing. Like,
physical energy.
I thought to myself before I downloaded it, because I didn't download it. I'm like, I don't, me personally, in my lifestyle, I don't need an excuse to go outside. Like, I'm out there plenty.
Yeah,
So, which there's all the jokes about like Pokemon Go has done more for the fat and obesity problem in America than Michelle Obama's 8 years in office or like White
yeah,
House. And I'm
yeah,
like, ha ha ha, lols, you're probably right.
yeah.
Uh,
I have friends who said I've already walked 23 miles this week.
oh my
Like,
gosh.
holy crap!
I live next to the Capitol building in Salt Lake City, and
Oh
that place
yeah,
is full of people all the time. Like it's already like
yeah,
kind of like a little place for people to stop, but now it's just full of them because I don't know what's
yeah,
there. I assume it's a gym, but I don't know. I
yeah.
should ask the people I know.
It's probably it has multiple Pokestops because
Yeah,
the Provo City Library has like five, and every time I've passed it in the last week, there's at least 20 people just outside looking at their phones.
swiping to get those Pokeballs.
Yeah, well, yeah, you gotta get those Pokeballs.
Gotta get those Pokeballs. Uh,
Um,
I just one of my friends. He's like, well, I know how I'm gonna find my wife. He's obviously not married. I'm just gonna drop a poke lure, and I'm gonna see what kind of walks by. And I'm like, well, if you're both nerdy enough to be playing Pokemon Go, then that could work
yeah,
out great.
let it go. Yeah, and so like there's threads on Reddit that are totally sincere. People saying like I've always suffered social anxiety. I've never been good talking to people, and this week I'm just walking around my neighborhood shouting out to people, "Yo, what team you on?" Like sincerely, the whole thread, lots of people saying similar things of like, "This has been so amazing. This is life changing.
Prepare
This
yourself for
is
the
easier than my
stories of
game of the
Pokemon
year."
Go engagements.
Yeah, I it'll happen for sure.
Oh yeah, of course, of course. So kudos,
But
Pokemon.
yeah, but can it stay on top of the App Store for longer than a few weeks?
Well,
I kind of doubt it.
all things go the way of the App Store death, right? So eventually, no. But
Well, I mean, but like
do you
it
think it will be
won't.
one of those? What do they call them? Like every time someone gets a new phone for Christmas or whatever, they have like the stock 5 apps that are like number one
Yeah.
because they're like the foundation apps or whatever they call them. I
Uh,
don't know if Pokemon will make it to that status. It'd be awesome if it did.
nah, I think it will, but I don't think it'll be used very long. I think it'll have a really high adoption rate, but also really high opt out rate, whatever they call that.
Okay, yeah. I
Because
could download it right now, but I don't
it's
want to.
so cool.
Now I'm being
Like
defiant.
it's so different than other stuff on your phone. Like it is legitimately a new kind of game, except for the game that this very company made before it, Ingress. But it's it's the biggest AR game ever made by far.
Yep, yep. Shows the power of licensing.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw this post that was like Pokemon Go just proves the slap Pokemon on it theory works. And they had Ingress versus Pokemon Go, and they had all these comparisons of like how Pokemon Go has 1/5 of the features of Ingress, had like a third of the development time, but it has Pokemon, so it's already bigger than Ingress ever was.
It's almost bigger than Twitter. So I mean, come
Yeah.
on. I can't. Like just I
Um,
just ugh.
it depends also how long it takes them to add special events for legendary Pokemon and how they handle those.
That's true. Have they said anything about how people are going to do that? Like, here's a question for
No.
you. what rate are you catching new Pokemon? Like, will you run out of the 150 first Gen 1 Pokemon pretty quick or not?
No, you won't catch the first. I haven't heard of anyone, even on the internet, that's caught all 150.
Well, no, but are they getting up to like 70, 80, 90 already?
Um, I don't know, probably 70 or 80.
Hmm.
But I mean, the way they do it though, it's not like a traditional Pokemon game. It's you catch, you want to catch as many of the same one as you can because that's how you evolve them. Every time you
Mm.
catch another Rattata, it gives you additional
You
Rattata
turn it
candy.
into candy. Kind of
Yeah, and
morbid if you
then
think about it. Someone turned a Ponyta into Ponyta glue candy, is what they said. I'm like, that's rude.
well, I mean, you don't turn it into candy. It comes with candy, and then you can give it back to the professor, and he'll give you another candy. I guess he's turning them into candy, maybe. I
Yep,
don't know.
yep. That's what's happening.
Um, yeah. So,
I kind of wish my house was like a Pokestop now, just because that'd be really cool. Because I'd be like, "Get off my lawn!"
well, someone was telling me today some local business is a Pokestop, and they
Taking
have
full advantage of
invested. Yeah, they've invested in putting lures on the stop so that there's
it.
always cool Pokemon there, so people come.
That's genius. How is that not
Yeah.
genius?
So that's what I was saying. Like Niantic and the Pokemon Company should sell Pokestops. They should go to
Oh,
businesses and
I
say,
was talking about that with my coworker today. I'm like, I wonder when the first deal will be made,
yeah,
because there's obviously deals to be made.
because I mean, engagement is engagement.
So, uh, Pokemon Go. I'm really I might jump into it once some more of the features are fleshed out, truth be told, because
Uh-huh.
right now it's not engaging. It doesn't seem engaging for me personally in any way, but I do love that people are talking about Pokemon.
Yeah, and like mainstream, like way more mainstream than ever.
Oh
Pokemon
yeah.
is
Oh
mainstream,
yeah.
but like it's never been like this.
If the local KSL news is like, "Yes, we're a Pokestop," you know you hit it big, okay?
Yeah, KSL, they don't mess around.
No, they don't.
For those who
But
don't know, KSL is like the local eBay as well.
that is also true.
They're huge. They're unstoppable.
Go to KSL Classifieds. You can find whatever you want there.
Yeah. Okay, so Pokemon Go. I'm sure we'll talk about it again on this show
When I
as it.
inevitably download it 3 months later, and I'll be like, Paul, remember that game? Yeah, it's awesome now. You should try it.
Yeah, we shall see. But the real biggest news of the week is next,
Red
and
Dead
that is
Redemption, backwards compatible.
we already
Oh,
talked about
wait.
that on a previous show.
Sorry.
The real news this week: No Man's Sky is real. It's done.
Oh my gosh.
It's
I played the
gone
beta
gold.
for that game. Oh, wait a
Shut up
minute.
about the beta. That was a stupid joke site that meant nothing. But here's the thing though, like it won't get delayed again. It's done.
It's done. Like
So
they
it's
can't,
really happening this time.
and they're not going to pull an Uncharted like production delay. No, it's
No,
good. It's ready to
it's
go.
already passed certification in three major markets,
I assume the
including
U.S. is one of them.
yeah, the US, Europe, and no, not Japan. Anyway, something else.
We'll say
So
South America.
it'll come out in the US for sure on August 9th.
August 9th.
Uh, it's really
Okay.
happening. It shot back up to the number one Steam game as soon as they announced that.
I'm cautiously optimistic with this game. The honest truth is, I, I, I won't be buying it. Is it 40 or 60?
It's 60.
Oh yeah,
And
hard pass. Not buying that.
they're giving it. Sorry, I'm trying to turn off my TV so it doesn't burn in the PlayStation menu. Anyway, uh, it's 60, and they're treating it like a full AAA title. Like it has pre-order bonuses, it has a collector's edition,
Which one did
it
you
has.
buy?
I bought the PS4 special edition because it comes with a comic that has that's like in the No Man's Sky universe, but is written by all these major guys. Like one of the guys helped write Watchmen.
I don't know what that is.
Watchmen is one of the only graphic novels to be considered one of the greatest novels of all time.
Oh,
And it was that movie a while ago that wasn't as good as the book.
uh, there's a lot of those, Paul.
Uh, yes, but the one called Watchmen.
I don't know what it is.
It was kind of the original, but who regulates the superheroes
Oh,
that
okay.
now everyone has done.
But who wore it
Uh,
better? Civil War, right?
well, I mean, Civil War made more money. It is more
Uh,
generally popular.
but No
Watchmen, I think,
Man's
was a little
Sky
more.
has anything back to No Man's Sky.
Yeah,
Has
please,
anything that
thank you.
they've talked about or like discussed moved the needle in your excitement at all? Or are you just still kind of like you don't know what it's
Okay,
all about? But
did you ever go watch the 21-minute IGN gameplay video that I mentioned? I think in our first episode.
I did not didn't not won't not watched it. Follow that one.
Okay, so yes, my excitement from initial announcement to now has increased because mainly because there's much more lore than they initially said there would be. So it was initially pitched as just like there's planets, there's 18 quintillion of them, go see what's on them. But as development has continued, now they're adding alien races, each with kind of a history that you can learn as you explore these planets because they've been to most of them before you. And you can actually interact with members of these races. And by exploring what they've placed on the different planets, you can learn their language to the point where you can communicate with them and even sort of align with them or offend them as you will. Um,
Okay.
so, so there's that mechanic. There's um, pretty deep crafting, which most of the time I don't care about crafting, and that's still
Mhm.
not like my number one for this game. But the cool thing about it is like they've made up their own table of elements. They've made up um, tons of different crafting recipes that they're not going to tell you outright. So it's going to be a lot of
Naturally.
experimenting with different stuff you find on different planets and just seeing what you can come up with, seeing what you can produce. So I think this game will have. I think it will benefit from the hype because this game is designed to have a dedicated community digging through it for answers. And I think the hype has allowed that community to already be built such that that aspect of the game, that kind of meta game, will be very exciting. You know, going on Reddit,
Mm,
going on forums, finding what other people have discovered, trying to find threads of secrets they've placed throughout. Um, so yes, I'm excited for a lot of reasons. But even just the premise of there's 18 quintillion planets, go see what they look like, just that is exciting to me. It is enough for me to play the game. But
which
they've added all these things
so
that
there's it
will
came out
make
that
it
like
actually good.
people are butthurt that the file size is only like 7 or 8 gigabytes, which is impressive if you think about it.
Yeah, it's
Six, six.
6 on the disc, but that's compressed.
Well, still, right?
Yeah.
I mean, um, long story short, put it this way: I won't be buying it, but you let me know when you're playing it and stream it, and I'll watch you.
Okay.
Then I will make really snide comments and snarky rebuttals
Yeah.
until you're like, Ben, go away. I'm like, all right.
You have been booted, or I'll just shut down the stream because you'll be the only
Yeah,
one watching.
yeah. Because
Yeah.
I'm interested to see it, given all the hype.
Yeah.
Because when I first met you, Paul, you were talking about this game pretty much, and that was
Yeah.
almost 2 years
Yes.
ago.
2013 is when they announced this game,
Yeah,
and they were working
so,
on it for a year and a half before they announced it. It's
yeah,
just nuts.
yeah. So anyway, I'm excited for you, Paul. I really am. So August
Yeah.
9th. is a what? Tuesday?
It's a Tuesday. Classic.
Classic Tuesday. Yep, there it is. Okay, well, so I fully expect you to be playing it, and I will be watching.
It's gonna happen. It is real now. No more wondering. No more. We're sorry, but we're working
Well,
so
now
hard.
is this
I do
game
think they played up their sob story way more than any other developer I've ever seen, and like,
sob story of
all,
like the delays and the troubles of development?
yeah, just like we work so hard. If you guys saw how hard we work, you'd tell us to slow down. I'm like, even if that's true, like you gotta have better PR than just, oh guys, we work
Pity
so hard.
us.
It's kind of their brand though. It's the we are a small team. We're doing it right. We work hard.
He says bitterly.
It just it's fine, and I totally respect them for it. But do you have to tell us? Like that's the only thing they told us for so long. We're still working so hard. Like just give me a screenshot and I'll be fine.
Just shut up and go back to work, I guess. Do what you want.
I mean,
Well, here's the
take it.
question.
Yeah.
This game is huge, obviously, to the minds of some. But is it big enough to dethrone Overwatch, Paul? I mean, now you got the two
no.
greatest games of all time ever, and Pokemon Go. Like, how does this world of gaming is imploding?
Well, I don't think either of them will be the greatest game of all time ever. But
I'm being facetious.
I do think both Overwatch and No Man's Sky will have pretty significant ripple effects into other games trying to follow their shoes.
Yes.
As will Pokemon Go, and that's what's exciting about these games to me is people will do things differently because of these games, which is a huge accomplishment.
Yes, I agree with you. Though I don't know if any like the AR games, like Pokemon is an AR, you can turn off the AR entirely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to be moving AR forward in any meaningful way, and people will realize the power of a license maybe because slap the Pokemon license on there and right.
Yeah, hopefully Nintendo realizes the power of a license and a judicious use of their own licenses, and we get cool stuff around their other licenses.
Yeah, was it? We were talking about it. Like Nintendo has a lot of lessons to learn, and this is a good one. Like the mobile market's serious business, and maybe the NX might be their last console if they flub it up, and they'll just like, hey, now we make software and licensing.
Yeah,
So,
well, unless the NX is mobile. Ooh.
oh my gosh, I would I buy a Nintendo phone? I would not because their first iteration would be like the first pancake, still tasty, really awkward looking.
Yeah. Yeah. Early adopters always get punished.
Mm-hmm. So it's not mobile. Excuse me, but they did file a patent for a handheld device of some kind. So it's like furthering the rumors. NX will be some kind of hybrid.
Yeah.
And maybe they'll have a GPS component to it, and so it can play Pokemon Go. It is connected to your Google account.
It's Pokemon Go, the console.
The console. They already have that little Pokemon Go GPS thing, right?
Yeah, Pokemon Go Plus.
I don't know what it does. What does it do?
You wear it, and you connect it to your phone, and it just kind of vibrates when you're near something, and you tap it, and it either throws the Pokeball or spins the Pokestop automatically without having to pull out your phone.
That's amazing, I guess. Then how
it's
do you, well,
it's basically
plays the game for you.
Yeah, grinding. I can't think of a non-dirty way to say this. It grinds for you. Yeah.
Regardless, that's how I would play Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
If it did all the grinding for me.
Yeah, it basically is. It's like pay to. It's pay to win. Let's be honest.
Let's pay to win. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Yeah. But Overwatch and the new hero, Paul.
Oh yeah. So funny you should mention Overwatch because today, actually, this is hot off the presses.
Is she out yet?
Yes, she's out in the public test region on PC.
Oh, okay.
So she's in open beta, you might call it.
Okay,
Her name is Anna.
that's right.
She is a support sniper,
Mother of Farah,
mother of Farah, the other
Death
one of the
from above.
offense characters. Yeah. So therefore, because she's Farah's mother, she is Egyptian.
Hmm.
Um, she is a level 3 of 3 difficulty. She should be difficult to play compared to the other heroes because her abilities each do like 5 things.
Wow.
So her weapon, shoot at an ally and heal them, shoot at an enemy and hurt them and cause additional damage over time. Um, she has a bio grenade that has a small area of effect, and any allies in its area um, don't get healed, but any heals they get are increased for a short period of time.
Oof.
And enemies caught in the bio grenade um, are hurt a little bit, like 5 damage or something, but then they can't be healed at all for a short period of time, no matter what.
Mm.
Then she also has a sleep dart that stops an enemy in its tracks, but the second you hurt them, they pop back up.
Which
So
one's her
it's
ultimate?
her ultimate. I haven't got to yet.
Oh, I thought they only had three
Is
abilities each.
no, they have 4 usually. Uh, Her ultimate is, what do they call it? Nano something. Basically, it's a buff for one of your teammates. It makes them faster, reduces damage, and increases their damage for a short period of time.
I think in solo queue play, like that would be one of the toughest heroes to play. But
Yeah.
if you have a coordinated team, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
mama.
Well, it's really interesting because they added like sniper is kind of a subclass in Overwatch. Like the team tip will tell you no snipers, even though it's not an official class.
Hmm.
So they added there's only 2 snipers and only 4 supports. So they added one of each. They killed like 2 birds with 1 stone, which was really interesting. Uh,
Okay,
it will be
well,
interesting to see how she affects the meta, how much play she gets like competitively. Um,
which interesting anecdote. Competitive Overwatch. Have you been playing that at all, Paul?
the competitive mode,
Yeah.
yes, I've been playing it a lot actually.
Because I was talking to a coworker of mine, and he's been playing it on PC, and he's like, I almost stopped playing Overwatch once the competitive mode came out because the community all of a sudden turned all salty and just mean and vicious because it's now competitive and all of the comments
Yeah.
and all of the slander. And so he's like, I hate that about he used to play League of Legends and he's like, I hate
Mm,
that community for that reason. And so I love Overwatch. So I'm gonna stick with it for a while, but if it doesn't get better, like I'm out.
yeah. So it has definitely changed the way I play Overwatch because a full competitive match is 2 games. So you're like, it's a much more of a commitment to play a competitive match.
Okay.
Um, I get stuck playing support or offense almost every time. So I had a really weird experience with the competitive mode. You have to do 10 placement matches
Okay.
before you get a score.
Right.
And I just got really lucky and I won 8 of my 10 placement matches. So my skill rating out of the gate was 58,
Out of
which like out of 100, but like pros come out of uh, match out of the placement matches with like 66. Grow from there. So I think I just finished my 10th match post placement and I lost 8 out of 10 because that was not the correct placement for me. So I'm back down to 51. So my competitive experience has been very strange, but I've enjoyed the ride. I enjoyed feeling like I was really good for about 5 minutes.
Okay.
Um, and it's like, it's a lot more structured. Like the quick
Mhm.
play was just like, whatever, choose your character, let's shoot each other, fun. But competitive is like, have a good team comp, you know. Which they're now making stricter. They're now saying you can only have one of each hero in competitive, so you can't double up on heroes.
In
Which,
quick play, you can double up
yeah,
still.
which was a popular troll strategy on console. Everyone would just be Torbjorn, and on PC there would often be just like 6 tracers or 5 tracers and 1 Lucio. Um, so they also like completely reworked D.Va in the same patch that brought in Anna. D.Va's
Which one's Diva?
the Korean girl in the mech.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Her like defense matrix thing that blocks things coming in at her is now, it like charges over time, but you can use it even not at full charge rather than just straight cooldown. Um, so they're making like very bold and pretty quick changes in these early days of Overwatch. Um, it'll be interesting to see how long it takes it to calm down, because it seems like, I mean, it's been out for a month and a half,
Hmm.
and there's already been at least 3 like major patches that totally changed the game. Um, so it'll be interesting
Hmm.
to see how long it takes for that to slow down and it kind of to settle into its groove, as it were.
Okay. I still won't. It's not that I don't want to play it. I realize at this point the ship has sailed for me. Like,
That's not true. It's only been out for a month and a half.
yeah, there's Pokemon Go I could download, or
Yeah, Pokemon Go.
Halo 5 needs to be played again, and
That's true. I mean, you got to stick with that Halo 5.
gotta stick with that Halo 5.
How long is queue times on Halo 5? Is it still pretty quick?
Oh yeah, actually. So I've been getting into kind of the YouTube community of Halo 5 and like watching a lot of the streamers and things,
Mm-hmm.
because the way they play that game is amazing and I love to watch it. Anyway, and so
Yeah.
one of the guys was commenting on the size of Halo 5 because the glory days of Halo was Halo 3 back on the 360, and then Reach came
Mm-hmm.
out, Halo 4 came out, and it just kind of always tailed off. But finally, with Halo 5, they're actually maintaining a pretty significant size of their player group. It's the biggest one since
Yeah.
Halo 3.
Well, I
So,
guess there's nothing on Xbox One pulling people away from it.
well, I mean, there's Overwatch and there's
Yeah.
other big shooters, but obviously people play most of those on PS4. So,
Or
like the
PC.
Xbox branded game is Halo.
Yeah.
Uh,
It'll be interesting to see
so
if Gears of War screws that up at all.
that's an interesting one to see. I won't play Gears of War. I don't really care about that game. But Halo 5 developers, like, they reach out to these YouTubers and they do rapid changes as well. All the content that is released for Halo 5 is free, which is
Mm-hmm.
phenomenal. Like, a new map was released this week, and I'm like, what? I didn't even know. How great is this?
Yeah.
Um,
That's the way to do
so
it.
I love the new models. Like Titanfall 2, they also announced like at E3 all the DLC, well,
Yeah.
DLC, the
All the
maps will
DLC.
just be open. Like they finally
Yeah.
figured out it's not good to split to fraction
Yeah.
your base.
They're doing
So
that.
I really like that. Because like, well, for example, you have noted here, like, so let's talk about this Evolve, right?
Yeah.
Free to play on at
Nice
least
free to
PC right
play.
now.
Yeah. Increased the player base by 16,000%. But I mean, drop from a $50 game to free. Surprise, more
Yep,
people are going to play it.
surprise, right? So
Yeah.
I would be interested once it comes free to play on console to play it for a little bit because I always wanted to play it but never did.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll bother.
Yeah,
Because, like, that's the kind of game, like, if I walked up to a kiosk and it was there, I would totally play it. But I don't want to take the time to download.
it's free, Paul. You got Google Fiber, Paul. You have no
Yeah,
excuse, Paul.
but I have other games,
Gotta,
and
I get it.
if it
I can't refute your claim.
if it comes free to play on console after August 9th, it will never get played.
Yeah, like recently the game I went
Mm.
back to, I finally started Dark Souls 3. Like I finally started that game.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It's great. And I'm playing that game as a sorcerer for the first time ever. I've never played as a sorcerer in one of those games. So
Congratulations.
it's a whole new world. Da 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 da. But anyway, so
I'm proud of you for singing
yep.
for everyone. That was our first song.
Oh,
It's
there should be many more. What was I thinking?
it's a big
Ah,
milestone for
I did just spend 20
our
bucks on
title.
music last night. I can play some for
I'm proud
you.
of you. Was it music I'll hate?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, perfect. Well, next topic. Summer Games Done Quick, the annual speed running event that raises money for Doctors Without Borders. This year hit 1.3, well, just under $1.3 million raised for Doctors Without Borders.
Snaps.
And an AI beat one of the Mario games in like 3 seconds. I
Oh,
don't
how?
know.
It's not
Well,
possible.
obviously exploited some sort of glitch. It was an AI. It was a program doing it. Um, but they like started it and then they went to watch it, and like 3 seconds later it was over. So
Okay. Like I've seen a couple streams of like speedrunners, and it is fascinating to watch how they exploit these games in ways that
oh
you're
yeah,
like, I didn't realize you could do that.
yeah. Speedrunning is always awesome to watch. I did not watch. I didn't get to watch any of Summer Games Done
I
Quick
didn't realize it
this
was
year,
going on.
but speedrunning is always awesome to watch.
Do you know of any notable ones that happened this year that I should go check out?
No, I don't. There was the one somebody was speedrunning something on a 3DS, and his 3DS died in the middle of his run. Which, like, why did he not have it plugged in? That seems like that should. Anyway,
That should be, yeah, I agree with you.
yeah.
Terrible
So no,
oversight.
I didn't hear of any this year. There was the one I think it was last year. Someone did a Bioshock Infinite speed run.
Okay.
That was like actually mind blowing the way he did that. No, I didn't hear of any this year that were just like, holy crap. But I'm sure they were there. I just didn't hear about them.
Mm. Yeah, so I kind of want to check out like what had happened because I like to watch some of those. Which now
Yeah,
BioShock Infinite, I didn't realize that was a speed run. Obviously, anything can be speed run, but
yeah. There
I
is a
like
guy
I
who
like to
speed
scrub through
runs.
those.
There's a guy who speed runs The Last of Us,
Yeah,
which is very weird to me, but he does it.
I did watch. I scrubbed through the. It was a speed run, no hit, Dark Souls 3, and he did it in
Ooh,
like 2 hours and 2 minutes or something like that, right?
wow.
Which now having started that game, I'm about 10 hours in, and by that point where I'm at and where he was at, like it took him I think like 8 minutes to get to where I was, and I've been playing for 10 hours, right? So it's like,
Yeah,
holy moly, how did like, and he never got hit, not once throughout the entire stream. Nothing hit
yeah,
him, and it was amazing to scrub
that's
through that.
awesome.
And so
That
like,
is awesome.
yeah, how did, yep, kudos to them. Obviously,
Yeah,
like that's all they do. Like he's
yeah.
like, yeah, I was
So,
practicing this. I've been playing this for about 6 hours today, but this run, I think I'm gonna do it this time. Like, oh my.
wow.
But
So
if you think
there's
about
like,
it, 2 hours isn't that long.
no, it's not, because that's like a full. Isn't that supposed to be like a 30-hour game?
Oh yeah, 30 to 40
Yeah.
hours. And I play it for 2 hours at a time. So like speed running it, it's really not that long.
Yeah.
You just
No,
have to be
no way.
that good. But anyway, go on.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say the speed run community and the fighting game community are so interesting to me. They're like in their own little corner. They don't really pay attention to like the wider game scene because they care about their thing,
Hmm.
and they're just on a level with these games that you know, the regular, even people who know a lot about games just can't believe. And I wonder if there will be more communities like that for like other genres that will kind of more and more just drift apart from mainstream games, and it'll be like, you know, everyone will kind of say I'm a fighting gamer or I'm a action adventure gamer.
You know, I as the population grows and as more and more people start playing games, I think you're right. I hadn't really thought about that, but I think you're totally right.
Yeah, because I'm started noticing myself, like I only have so much time to play games. I just certain types of games, like I used to just explore whatever, like I'll download anything off PS Plus, but lately, like the last 4 months, I haven't played anything on PS Plus because they're not the kinds of games that I want to play, and I just don't
Hmm.
have time. I think that's kind of what happens. Like if you find yourself loving fighting games, you eventually just stop playing other games and you get really deep into it.
Hmm.
I mean, obviously, it's not going to be like I will never play anything else other than this, unless you're going pro, I guess. But I think more and more, yeah, in the future, you're going to identify as a type of gamer rather than gamer or non-gamer.
Yeah, it's really sad to me that some of the games that I really want to go back to and play, I'll never actually do because of the same reasons. Like, there's just too
Yeah,
many games that I want to play, not enough time, and I limit myself to just a very few select ones. But
yeah.
woe is me.
There's two pieces of Valve news that I honestly don't know much about this week.
Okay.
There's a Counter Strike Go, CS:GO, something about YouTubers owned their own betting website that they were promoting on their YouTube channel, and it made people very angry. I don't know. I'm sorry. It was a very big deal. I just don't know much about it. So if you're watching, go look it up. It was a big deal. The other one is, in the never ending cycle of I can do anything you can do, I can do better of video games. I said that weird, but in that, Team Fortress 2 has now released a competitive mode pretty obviously to compete with Overwatch.
Really?
Yeah, but people don't like it at all. There's actually a really good video by a YouTube channel called Errant Signal that compared the social scene of both Overwatch and Team Fortress 2. And basically, his thesis was Team Fortress 2 was a game you would mess around in and find friends by playing on the same server over and over again. Overwatch is a game you play with your friends, and it's very fast paced, so something you can do together and get really involved with and then move on. But you're not going to meet people within Overwatch. Um, and basically, by trying to be more like Overwatch with like a competitive, we will find a server for you, and kind of quick play sensibility. Uh, a lot of people thought Team Fortress 2 was betraying its soul or whatever. So they're already kind of reworking it within, I think, just a week of it being released.
Hmm. I had no idea. Which, do you know what the player base is for Team Fortress 2 at this point?
Yeah, it's pretty sizable. It's free to play, by Valve on Steam. It's a pretty
Technically,
sizable
I
player
have it,
base.
but I never
Yeah,
play it.
it's still a pretty sizable player base. Yeah, it doesn't
Hmm.
get much media attention or
No,
like
no.
general gaming population attention, but it still has a sizable player base who is pretty active because got to get them hats.
The only person I knew that ever really played that game was Eric in our
Yeah.
cohort, and I played one match with them. Like they had an interesting mechanic where they had it's kind of like pay-per-view style gaming, where there were
Mhm.
special kind of game modes that you could pay for a ticket, and then you could go in and play. And
Uh-huh.
so I paid $1 or maybe it was $2, I don't remember, for this special kind of like team-based AI, like versus AI style thing.
Hmm.
And I never realized like I the thesis that you're mentioning, that's kind of an interesting idea. I like that. And if that's what Team Fortress 2 was, I mean, I'm rather impressed by that
Mhm.
because I've never heard of a game doing something like that with a community.
Yeah, so basically, he just like in the game design, Team Fortress 2 is slower and there's more downtime. So you can take some time to mess around even within a match, and you can, do more to customize your character to kind of express yourself so people can react to your personality within the game and then start talking to you. And you can go to the same server day after day after day, so the same people will be there.
Mm.
Whereas none of that exists in Overwatch. Like they have customization, but it's super limited and it forces you to stick with the character. Um, there's no concept of going to the same server. Like there's barely concept of servers in Overwatch. It's just I want to play, let me play. Do
Hmm.
it for me.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was
So,
interesting.
well, it looks like that Team Fortress 2 won't be very competitive for long. Like, I don't see why it would.
Yes, I don't know. Yeah, it seems like it has its thing and Overwatch has its thing. I don't think they.
If it ain't broke, why don't fix it?
Yeah, yeah. Um, Final
Last but not least.
item on the list today: Rocket League is supposedly adding a crate system similar to Team Fortress 2, actually, or Dota 2, where you play games and randomly sometimes you'll get a crate drop and then you can unlock the crate for additional cosmetic items.
Hmm.
Some interesting things they said about this. It'll go side by side with their current item drop system. It won't replace it, which I thought was weird.
Okay.
And you'll actually be able to turn it off if you want,
Why would you want that?
because you don't want to bother with. Because I think it might be. I'm actually going to look this up right now. Sorry, while I be an old man and put my glasses back on. Rocket League crate system. Because I think you might have to pay for like keys to unlock the crates.
Oh, do you get a certain number of keys a week or something like that at least?
I don't know.
Because that would be annoying if you have like 8 crates just taunting you to open them, but if you never get a key unless you buy stuff, like microtransactions
Uh,
for the win.
yes. So, uh, Psionics Vice President Jeremy Dunham said on a Reddit thread, those assets are indeed early pieces of an upcoming system we plan on implementing to fund our esports prize pools and events. So, yes, you will have to buy keys to unlock the crates, and some portion of your purchase will go to the prize pool for the Rocket League Championship Series.
Oh, yeah. In that case, I'd just turn it off.
Yeah. These
I
crates
love
won't
I
offer.
love Rocket League, but not that much.
Yeah. These crates won't offer players any advantages. They'll be cosmetic only and can be completely hidden with an option. They won't have an impact on the existing item drop system, nor will they have impact on future updates. We'll still see a mixture of premium DLC and free add-ons that introduce new arenas and modes.
Okay. When does that hit?
So they're going to officially announce it at the um, live finals of the RLCS season one, which is like August 6th through 7th or something.
Okay. I should probably play some more Rocket League. We should do that, Paul.
Yeah, I should. I have played a few games recently because Overwatch matches take so long that if I only have like 10 minutes, I'll just play a couple Rocket League games rather than go into Overwatch. So
Mm,
I'm getting back into it a little bit.
good
It's still
call.
great. It's still so great. It's Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I actually also finally started the second expansion to Witcher 3.
Blood and Wine or something like that.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
every time I go back to that game, I'm impressed anew. It's just like no other game I've ever played has impressed me so much with its DLC in particular.
Mm.
Like a lot of games are good and big and have a lot to do, but then the DLC is just like now you can play as Catwoman,
Yeah.
or I don't like here's 3 extra missions that you could probably forget anyway.
Mm.
But the Witcher 3 DLC is like this is
Significant.
basically the Witcher 3.5, and like Blood and Wine is so big it's basically like the Witcher 3 2, Final Fantasy style.
I didn't realize that. So they're more like expansions, which whatever happened to expansions? They're just now DLC, but
They're now DLC, yeah. But some people are take pride, especially on PC. They'll be like, "This is a old school." Like XCOM did that. XCOM Enemy Unknown and Enemy Within. They were very clear. Like this is an old school PC expansion. It adds like 50% more content to the game as a whole. Um, but mostly, yeah, we just get dribbles of DLC.
mm-hmm.
And The Witcher 3 tried to kind of draw a line in the sand because they had DLC, which was like extra beards and extra crossbows. But an expansion is like it makes the
Proper paid
game
because they had like 13
bigger.
free DLC packs or whatever, which was those
Yeah.
kind of things. It's kind
Uh-huh.
of it it draws an interesting contrast between The Witcher's DLC and something like Batman Arkham Knight DLC, where that
Yeah.
was like panned for really wasn't that great,
Yeah. Well, it was like
super expensive.
it was like once a month for the 6 months after release. We're gonna release DLC, and because it was once a month, yeah, it was like 3 missions as Robin, like 2 cutscenes and a few missions extra as Batman. Um, Whereas the Witcher 3 expansions are like Blood and Wine was a good for me. I mean, not Blood and Wine. Hearts of Stone was a good like 15 extra hours of gameplay, a whole
Wow.
main story arc with lots of side quests. And Blood and Wine is even more. It's a whole new area. It adds a whole new Gwent faction. It adds new enemy types that are like very different. Like there's a moving plant that like buries through the ground and pops up in different spots. Um, Unlike anything else in the game before. And just the stories like have real weight to them. It's
Mm-hmm.
not like Batman, there's a problem, go solve it. I don't know why we're picking on Batman, but
Because I brought it up.
because like Assassin's Creed also doesn't have great DLC. Um, Although some notable exceptions to that. Freedom Cry for Assassin's Creed 4
Mm-hmm.
was decent. It was like 5 hours of a significantly different experience because you played as the black first mate rather than the actual white assassin dude.
Hmm.
And I hear that the Assassin's Creed Syndicate DLC, where you got to hunt down Jack the Ripper, was actually pretty good. But most Assassin's Creed DLC is like a 5 mission chain that means nothing and gives you an item that sucks, you know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, whereas The Witcher 3, they're proper expansions. They add to the game. Whereas it like if you just played like Witcher 3 Game of the Year edition, it would feel just like it was even bigger than that game was when it came out because it just adds to the game rather than being DLC like most
I'm trying to
people
think of the
do.
last like story-based DLC that I ever bought. I don't know actually because I just don't really buy DLC because I never feel like it's worth its value. Like, I
Yeah.
suppose if I were to play Witcher, then that one, the way you're describing it, definitely sounds like that. But I don't play The
Oh
Witcher,
yeah.
so
Yeah. Um, The Last of Us Left Behind was pretty good DLC.
that came with the remastered edition that I had on PS4.
Yeah. But even it was very small. It was
Yeah.
very much a like a deleted scene was really the
Yep.
feel of it.
Yep.
Um,
So like DLC has never impressed me.
yeah.
So the way like I hope more games take a note from The Witcher because that'd be awesome. Then I might actually be interested in buying DLC. But
Yeah.
I think I did. I think I did buy some Mass Effect DLC.
Oh yeah, Mass Effect had pretty good DLC.
Yeah, but I usually got it on sale
But
because I played those games late.
it would have been better if Mass Effect had released like all the DLC as like here's an expansion. They did a lot of little things that combined made significant changes,
Yeah,
I think.
good point. Yeah, but
Um,
anyway, Paul, it is that time
yeah.
for me to go.
Okay. I'm glad this turned into a let's compare all DLC ever episode.
It's just where the river of conversation took us.
Yeah. Well, 0 viewers. Thank you for watching. This has been episode 6 of Untitled Game Talk Show.
It's now just for us, Paul. It's just for us.
It's just for us. Thank you all. Catchphrase and good night.
Catchphrase.